with a question. How many of you have ever shot and killed an animal before? Alright, a few of you. So, due to legal reasons, I can't change that number, but what I can do is teach you how to be a successful deer hunter. We all have the chances to be a hunter. It takes just a portion of public land or sweet talking one of your friends into hunting on their private land. I actually hunt on private land, and I've shot anywhere from turkey, grouse, pheasant to deer, and I can inform you that deer hunting is the most exciting. So I've shot a doe with 3-pointer, an 8-pointer, and a 9-pointer. And if you don't know what the pointer means, it's basically how many antlers each deer has. So I have some knowledge with hunting. And with my knowledge, I feel I am certified to talk to you about gun etiquette and land knowledge, where to shoot a deer, and what to do after you've shot the deer. So without further ado, be prepared to learn how to be a successful deer hunter. Before handling a gun, it's important to know the ins and outs of gun etiquette. And you can do this by attending a hunter safety course, which is about 2 weeks long. And in that hunter safety course, we learn about barrel control. So as you can see, this is my 30-06, the gun that I hunt with. The barrel's pointed straight up into the air, so if I were to accidentally shoot the gun, it would just go up into the air and be no threat to anyone around. But if I had poor barrel control and it was aimed right down the shooting lane, and I just wasn't really paying attention to it, and I accidentally fired it, it could ricochet, and there's some hunters that hunt over here, and it could be a threat to them. And also there's a road that passes back there, it could be a threat to them as well. And another thing that hunter safety teaches us about is property. So if I were hunting on public land, and I shot a deer, and that deer ran onto the private land, then I would have to go ask the landowner if I could even go on his land, otherwise I could be charged with trespassing. And then also, it's good to know where the food and water sources are on your land. So it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little bit of food plot right there. There's a stream that runs below my stand, and it all comes down to deer need to eat and deer need to drink. And if you know the best eating and the best drinking spots on your property, then you'll have a better chance of seeing a deer. So just to review the first topic, hunter safety gives you all the knowledge you need to know regarding hunting. And then it's good to know where the food and water sources are on your land to enhance your hunting experience. So next, you need to know where to shoot the deer. Many new hunters or young hunters think that headshots are the way to go because you get more points in video games, so why shouldn't it translate to deer hunting? Well, that's not correct. You want to shoot the deer in either the heart or the lungs, which will give it a better chance of dying because obviously your goal is to kill the deer. You don't want to suffer it. That's not our goal. You don't want to shoot it in the liver because that would give it a less chance of dying, and it also give you a long track. I know one of my friends who went hunting last weekend had a big 10-pointer just standing 25 yards out from his stand, and he was using his bow, and he shot it right through the liver, and got out, looked for about 2 hours, and never found the deer. So it's just unlucky to shoot through the liver, so you want to shoot in the heart of the lungs. So the deer's not always going to be standing sideways to you. Sometimes it's going to be squaring up to you. So in this case, you want to shoot it about right here. That would blow out its front shoulder and then flip the lungs or the heart, or maybe even both. And so that way you'll miss the gut, which is back there, and then hopefully if you're aiming right there, then hopefully you won't hit the head. So now that you know where to shoot a deer, you'll have a better chance of killing it. And then you're not done yet. You need to know what to do after you've shot the deer. And a basic misconception is that people run out of the stand right after they shot the deer and try and take pictures of it and send it to their mom and their dad. But if you want to look like my sister and I in this picture with 2 dead deer, then I advise you to wait 30 minutes before exiting your stand. You could flush the deer and it could run about 2 miles, and then all of a sudden it's a cold November night and you're following a blood trail like this slow, and the deer is sitting 2.5 miles away and it's dead. So that would be a bad scenario. So the goal is to let it die, and there's a process that we followed in hunter safety. It's called wait, listen, find. So you wait the 30 minutes, you listen for any movement. If there's no movement, then you go out and you find the deer. So now that you know some of the steps to becoming a successful deer hunter, you can plan your upcoming hunts. I know we have some hunters in our room, and we have some people that will never shoot a gun or will never kill an animal, but take what I gave you and use it how you may. Being a deer hunter is easy, but being a successful deer hunter takes knowledge and skills that I've touched upon in this presentation. Hunting isn't fun, Or hunting is fun. Hunting isn't lame. Take it from me. Hunter's my name.
Oh!